There's an adage from when I was young, and it says, the world is rolling and we roll along with it, which basically means that the world is not static. And because the world is not static, we cannot be static as well. So which means we have to educate ourselves in matters of the world, know exactly what is going on around us, and also adjust to the changes that we're experiencing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for wherever it is that you're watching this channel from. My name is Adeshola Adefiroye, and we're going to be talking about pastoral counseling and everything and anything that has to do with pastoral counseling, most especially how to structure it. First and foremost, what is pastoral counseling? This particular profession has been evolving over some years now. Pastoral counseling, simply put, is based on biblical principles and psychotherapy. Do we really need this in the church? Yes, we do. And I'll give you some reasons why I think we need it, at least in my local church. First and foremost, the pastor right now is the one that does all the counseling. Any type of issues that the congregants have goes to the pastor. This makes the pastor to be stressed out. The pastors starts to experience burnout. And when the pastor is burnt out, they're not functioning at full capacity. And errors can occur. Counseling failure can occur, which is not very good for the church and for the congregation. Also, in a situation where the pastor leaves suddenly or the pastor dies, which was exactly what happened in my local church. My pastor, a great woman of God, she was very good at counseling, but then the Lord took her suddenly. And the congregants were just left in limbo. There was no one to immediately take over from where she left. To prevent this, one, having a structured counseling ministry could have prevented this type of situation. Also, at times, some of the pastors are not adequately trained to handle every single situation. Some of them might be good with grief. Some of them might be good with anxiety, but they're not trained. But then if there's a structure in place, all this can be addressed. Also, the Bible tells us that we all have gifts, and this gift can be used within the body. We have different members of the congregation that have gifts in counseling. They are professionally trained in counseling, but are we using them? For the most part, no, we're not using them at my local church. So, but then if we have a structure in place, all these people can be engaged. We can bring the clinical counselor, the licensed counselor on board. We can bring the psychiatrist on board. We can bring the social worker on board. And anybody else that also has some kind of training that will be helpful can be brought on board. And this will help the pastor tremendously. Because in all of this, the pastors also have a family they have to attend to. By them having so much burden to carry, it prevents them from having time, adequate time with their wife, with their children. And at times, this leads to resentment from the children. Some of the children are not doing well. They don't want to have anything to do with the church because they just did not experience much of fatherly love and attention. But with this burden taken partly away from the pastor, it will be helpful. I'm not proposing that the pastors be completely taken out of the loop. because research has suggested that congregants are more likely to go to their pastors when they have crisis. They trust their pastor. They depend on their pastor. So what I'm proposing is that, yes, when congregants come, they talk to the pastor, and then the pastor will make a referral to the counseling department. And also intermittently, there will be feedback about the congregants to the pastor. I feel this will make it better for the church and the congregation at large. Thank you very much for watching. This is just an introduction to all the series that will be coming up later. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and also please give us feedback. We appreciate your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day.